Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, welcome aboard for episode 11. I can't believe we're at 11 already of the Throwdown with Matt. And tonight it is my pleasure to have with me a highly regarded and well traveled tag team out of Wisconsin, Ghetto Gear Solid.
Hey,
Kaz
yeah.
and, Kaz and Rashawn, how are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, fantastic,
Cool,
man.
bro. Same suit, just reheated, yeah, man.
Just marinating over here.
For sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll go ahead and get into the subject matter at hand here. And collectively and individually, how long have you guys been wrestling?
I'm gonna go first.
What year is this? 2024.
Yeah,
It will be, yeah, it's officially 24 years for me.
For me, it's I would say about roughly about 12 to 13. Yeah,
gotcha.
about 12 to 13. As a tag
Um,
team, though, what, 5, 6?
Uh, so we started tagging together since like before the pandemic. It was what, 2019? We started tagging together,
Mm-hmm.
fourth quarter 2019, and then yeah, almost 5 years or just about. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
so, a question for each of you: who trained you?
Um, Early on, it was a man named Mike Mercury and another man named Eric Hammers. And then later on in my wrestling life, I went to OVW a few years after that, and it was the Hustler Riff Rogers, legendary guy. I mean,
Oh yeah,
definitely put the foot down and make you go hard. So,
hmm
Well, mine wasn't as decorated as his is, but I went through, I moved out to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I was playing semi-pro football or whatever, and then my coach introduced me to Troy Brosco. He goes by, well, he went by Red Lightning then, but now he goes by Rad Lightning. But it was him. He had a handful with me, and Logan Lasher. He also had a big part in helping me train and taking me on the road with him and just getting me in, before shows, showing me that, showing me a few ropes and all that stuff. And next thing you know, rest is history.
got you, got you. But yeah, like I said, my son and I had the opportunity to see you guys wrestle a few weeks ago, and y'all are definitely entertainers. So it was a lot of fun watching you guys hook it up with Amish country out in Augusta, Georgia.
And we had a lot
And
of fun with that match, man. With the whole, that was something different for us too. We ain't really wrestle nobody, work nobody with the whole Amish gimmick or anything. So it was something
yeah,
different for us. And then came out with the whole butter churn thing and the chicken.
the butter churn, the live chicken, and
All that, man. That was wild, man. That
the,
was
K,
fun.
the KFC chants. I mean,
Oh man, all that, man. It was a
that,
blast, bro.
oh yeah, that crowd was relentless on the KFC stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, at what point in each of your lives did you know that you wanted to try to make a go of this?
Well,
go ahead.
this one, we
Go
go
ahead.
first. All right. Me, it was I wouldn't say I was about 10 or 11 when I started like really getting heavy into it and everything, and like actually like watch wrestling faithfully because I mean that's when Monday Night Raw was hitting. You still had WCW doing their thing,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, so it just got to a point with me where it's just like I got so addicted to it. So it was like, what I'm saying, I told my dad, he was like, I was like, Dad, I want to be a wrestler. So he, he he threw it. I just dismissed the whole thing or whatever. It was just like, man, like, no, do something else with your life and all that. I'm like, I'm saying in my head, like, I think this is what I want to do, Bob. So here I am today. You feel me?
Well, with me, I was a little boy, probably about 3, 4 years old, probably younger than that. But yeah, so it was my grandma and my uncles just watching wrestling every Saturday, like after Saturday morning's cartoons. like Saturday morning cartoon was cool and all, but when wrestling came on,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was it, man. Like that was a wrap for us, man. Like growing up watching it. So it was my first love, man. Like that was probably one of I would consider it a sport because that was my first thing I ever seen. You know, seeing grown men with spandex on beating each other up and all that stuff, and I just enjoyed it. Didn't know who was who and all this at the time, and now growing up and look back at it, it's like, ooh, this is what I was watching when I was little and all that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was like forget football, forget basketball, baseball. Wrestling was my sport coming up, man.
Absolutely. I've been a fan, uh, varying levels of fandom at different points in my life, but I've been a fan since I was around 11, and I'm going to be 55 next month. So, I mean, I grew up in the territory days
mm,
and, went through the whole Monday Night Wars start to finish, saw the
yes,
rise of ECW.
mm,
You know, it's I've seen a lot in 40 plus years, and man, right now is one of the most exciting times to be a fan of this stuff, because there's
definitely,
just so much stuff happening, so many new companies,
mm-hmm,
and it's good for y'all too, because
Yeah,
there's tons of places to work.
definitely.
So
I mean, I say I wouldn't seen like wrestling this big since the late '90s. You know what I'm saying?
right,
During that
right,
Attitude Era, but everybody referred to it as the Attitude Era because WWE was like the big company. But I see it as was the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying, for WCW too, and for what I'm saying when ECW was just doing their thing and breaking in, and plus Eva, the WWE was doing their thing. So to me, it was the Attitude Era all the way around with everybody.
For me, it,
Abs-
it seems like they're bringing a lot of stuff back, especially
Mm-hmm.
with these mergers.
Yeah,
Like
mm-hmm.
back then,
that
around the
too.
territory days, it was a lot of mergers, different talents going to different territories. I mean, I'm excited for it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't wait to see what's down the road for it. So,
Exactly. And what's exciting is, I mean, especially when it pertains to WWE, a lot of the stuff that's going on right now could never have happened under Vince. You know, we're seeing a new wave of collaboration and cooperation among the companies, and it really brings back the concept that anything could happen. You
definitely,
know, and that just makes it exciting. It
right.
really does.
But
So
that's the thing, though. Ain't nobody greedy no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody,
yeah,
there's room at the table for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think now they're starting to grasp onto that concept.
yep. And a rising tide lifts all ships. So making the business and the industry as good as it can be is good for everybody.
I feel
So.
real so.
So, away from wrestling, what are some of your hobbies and interests?
Go ahead, tell me yours, bro.
Ooh, well, I can talk cars for days. Ask this guy right here. He would have no clue what I'm talking about half the time. But it is what it is. I have to educate him. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I do car shows. I definitely fix on my own stuff. I got a couple projects going on, but one car at a time. But yeah, man, that's a whole nother ball game for me, man. Just I like to get my hands dirty, bleeding and foaming out the mouth at times. But hey, as long as I get the job done.
Yeah. Me, I just be smoking weed and kicking it. To be honest with you, but I mean, I'm a video gamer here and there. You know, it's not as much as I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Got to do adult stuff now. But when I get my moments, I play video games, listen to music. Uh, yeah, man, that's just pretty much my passion. It's just music and a little bit of video games here and there, wrestling. Um, just sitting back having a good time with the family and friends and all that stuff. You know, I'm a homebody.
So, is is wrestling pretty much a full-time thing for you guys, or do you have day jobs?
Yeah, I got a day job, man, and it shocked the hell out of people when they hear what I do. I'm actually a CNA.
You're a CNA?
Yeah, man. I work at a mental care unit or whatever. You know, take care of people with all Alzheimer's, dementia, and all types of that's mental issues or whatever. You know, the elderly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm a mixture driver outside of wrestling. I drive cement trucks.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a real job. Sometimes it can be challenging based on where you have to drive the truck into and all that. But other than that, it's work, you know. So
We just got a comment over on the chat. So yeah,
Tom Bird again. I know Two Tone, man. I did a little bit of work for him back in the day, man. What up, Two Tone? How you doing, man?
But let's see here.
This is actually one of the first promoters to actually give me a shot. So much love and appreciation to him.
So but yeah, you were saying that you're a CNA. You know, years ago, I've been out of the field longer than I was in it. But years ago, I used to be a firefighter paramedic. Did that for a number of years, and I'm still in the healthcare field, but I'm in a completely different capacity. So. But yeah, I mean, patient care was interesting. It gave me a great background for what I do now. But I mean, that's a young man's job, and I'm glad I'm not lifting people all the time anymore.
Listen, man, it's good. I get them days where I get out of that bed and that lower back pains hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing I'm working third shift though, because by the time I get up, it gives me a little bit of time to recuperate and everything, and then later on that night, I'm on the clock. And it's funny you mentioned the fireman because I actually got a cousin on my stepdad's side that's a fireman, and I think he's still living in Milwaukee doing this thing. But yeah, and tough job, man.
Yep. So so you guys are Wisconsin based. What is your favorite thing about Wisconsin?
well,
depends on what part you're talking.
right.
Like at home in Milwaukee, I have to say, if you go over on the east side of Milwaukee, like by the lake and everything, where it's like a mixture of everything. You know what I'm saying? Mixture of people doing their things. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's riding bikes, people that's just doing a volleyball thing, or just on the beach just chilling, man. And it's just one of the real multicultural sides of Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the east side of Milwaukee, man. If you're ever there, check out that side of town.
Well,
Okay.
for me, I mean, I've been in Green Bay for many years. I mean, I go to the Bay and stuff like that, but not like that, like as often as I want to. But I still go when I need it. And other than that, I don't know. I really don't do much around here. I have to really get out of town and do stuff. I would probably go to Appleton and do more things there. There's more things to do there. Other than that, either Appleton or Milwaukee. But I don't go to either place like I used to a lot. But I would still go and visit. So,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely, if I were to do things in Milwaukee, we'll probably go to lakefront and stuff like that. And
I think that should be one of our videos.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Let's see. Other than that, it's. I mean, if it's the timing is right, based on certain events, yeah, I'll do stuff. But it's based on the weather here, because it snows during the winter here. Who does anything in the winter?
Yeah.
Well, we do have the state fair going on in Wisconsin right now, but just I think today is the first day of it, so. That's another cool thing that's there. Stay fair, you know what I'm saying? At least when they know fighting and all that. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool to hang out to Stay Fair. By the way, man, I did your shirt.
Thank you. Joe Hendry, man.
I just happened to look up and I just like wait a minute. Is that a Joe Hendry shirt?
That guy is on fire right now.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I mean, he has cracked the code for going viral.
Man, who you tell him? And I was keeping him ever since his ROH days, and keeping in like that whole theme song you got was catchy as hell. Then, man, like sometimes
and
just that one little thing that just catch people's attention and it's rocket on you when you gone.
It's funny though, you know, looking around on YouTube, you can find all of these times where he has basically written a song about his opponent, and the funniest part is watching the opponent trying to stay in character and not bust out laughing. You know?
To me, my favorite one that I still watching this day on YouTube is the one he did with Moose in TNA.
Oh yeah,
Moose dancing. That was all, man. That was dope.
Yeah. But it's funny, you know, when I was in college, I had a friend from someplace up in Wisconsin called Merrill. I don't know where that is in relation to y'all, but I remember them saying it was very cold. So
yeah. It's not like Minnesota winter, but it's close to it.
Yeah.
Real close to it.
Absolutely.
It get cold as hell.
Well, you know, they say that the best wrestling personas oftentimes are basically yourself turned up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the in-ring Kaz and Rashawn and compare them to the everyday you.
Well, I can be a little in between serious and a little jokester. He's full on jokester, but he would hit you hard after a joke, you know. So other than that, that's why we pretty much call ourselves Ghetto Gear Solid. It would go with a lot of what we do, you know, outside of wrestling, and then we bring it into wrestling, and plus, you know, I play video games too, you know, like not like I used to, but I still play, and we had to adapt it from Metal Gear to, you know, Ghetto Gear. So
right.
Yeah, that's how we came up with it. Like I had a T-shirt with like Ghetto Gear Solid, like the video game cover, and one of the promoters and bookers wanted to just have us to come up with a name, and Kev was like, "Oh, just Ghetto Gear Solid."
Ghetto Gear Solid.
Okay, all right. Let's just stick with that then. See where we go with that. You know what I'm saying? So.
It's a great name. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I credit him for coming up with that, man.
You definitely don't forget the name.
Yeah, and when I have the little acronym of T, and I got like on the logo, the original logo, it says Technical Explosive Action. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize this until maybe a couple years later. And I'm like, that's T. That's okay. So I started using "Come Get This T."
Yeah.
What's the acronym of T is Technical Explosive Action. So, I mean, technically, that's what we do in the ring, Technical Explosive Action. But we got a little bit of fun and games and comedy every now and then. But yeah,
me is I say the in-ring persona is more like, you know what I'm saying, the way Cass wants to be outside, and you know what I'm saying, outside the road or whatever. But you know what I'm saying, like you said, some things you can do in the ring you can't do outside. You know what I'm saying,
right.
So it gives me that chance to, you know, kind of open that up. Cass outside, you know what I'm saying. I still got my side of where, you know what I'm saying, I'm goofy in the mug, and then but you know, so other than that, I'm more quiet and cool, calm, and collected, just in my own lane.
Absolutely. So, do you guys have a preference between working heel or babyface?
Heel.
Definitely heel.
Babyface is fun, but I like being the heel, though.
Yeah. As a fan, I have always found myself gravitating more toward the heels than the faces. The heels are usually more compelling characters. I mean,
yeah, and he's a guy that, you know, that you want to see get his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? So you got people that gravitate towards that, but then you got guys that's like man, this heel is just so badass. Like, man, I can't boo him. I can't. Like, man, like just a style, man. You know, and that's kind of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Our style is so unique, and what we do is just so good that some people just can't boo it. They, you know, so they gravitate more towards it than away from it.
Absolutely. And you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and what I love are the folks that can transition from heel to babyface and back, and nothing about their character changes except very subtle things.
Yeah.
But the subtle things are enough to get the crowd loving you or hating you, you know. But nothing really about your character changes, and to me, that's magic.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So, this is a question, I guess, for both of you individually. Tell me about your very first match. How did it go? What was it like? You know, any little details?
Okay, well, my very first match, it was against a guy named Big Daddy Loker. He, I believe he played football in the past, much like I did before wrestling. And he was a big, solid dude, and it was a good match. I mean, I was a little nervous after training and all that stuff. And I just says, you know, just after I got in the ring, I'm like, let's go, let's do this. You know, if shit happens, shit happens. And believe it or not, my very first match is on YouTube. You would look at the match and you would think I'm already 5 years in the game. That's how good that match was. So, I mean, I have to, when I look back at it, like, damn, dude, like, it made me really sit down and just humble myself. So, it was pretty cool.
Well, my first match didn't look like I was no 5 years in, man. Man, if I look back at my match now, I mean, it's kind of cringy, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, how can you say it? It's the dirt before the clay, in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it was cool because I actually got to work one of the guys that trained me, Logan Lasher. He was like, I'll break him in. I'll give him his first match. And, you know, he stepped up and did that for me, and I appreciate that because he kind of lowered himself a bit to, you know what I'm saying, to be on that level or whatever. So I kind of appreciate him doing that. And yeah, that's about it, man. Like, looking back at it, it's cringy, but I mean, compared to where I'm at now, like, I improved a lot compared to that. At least personally, that's what I think.
Absolutely. You know, I was just looking over at the Instagram tab. My son is actually in the chat over there, and he just mentioned that you guys are super entertaining. And you know, at the PWE show, when you guys came out to the ring, one of y'all handed your bottle to Zach, my son.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And actually, today is his 15th birthday, so give him a shout out.
What's his name?
Zach.
Zach.
Happy
Zach,
birthday.
shout out, happy birthday, man, from Ghetto Gear Solid, baby. Thanks for being a fan, man. You know what I'm saying? Love at first sight with us, man. We appreciate that.
Appreciate you coming out with your dad to see us in action. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, wrestling is a good time to have that father-son time, You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I had over my dad, though, because he wasn't really into wrestling like that. His thing was basketball, but I think sometimes he'll turn it off just to keep me happy, you know what I'm saying, and put the wrestling on.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, he doesn't watch wrestling as much as I do, but I mean, you know, he was willing to come out with me, and he ended up having, you know, on the way back, he said he had a better time than he expected he was going to. So I consider that a victory.
Well, everybody did their job that night then. So
Yep.
Shout out to PWE.
So we've heard about your first matches. Now tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
You go first.
The favorite match. We want to go tag team match or singles match or.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
I think one of our favorite tag team matches we did was against Leonard Literacy and Lennox Leon. That was in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Man, that match, it's hard to explain.
It was just fun.
It was wild. Everything in between, and all the bells and whistles. That's as some folks would say it, but yeah, man, it was too much fun, man. Like after the match was over, it was like the motivation just really lifted. You know what I'm saying? I was already motivated, but it was like a whole nother level of energy. Like, oh my God, like it was incredible, man. So we still watch it, like just to go back and look, make sure we still on the same page and stuff like that.
I just like to punch at the end.
Oh,
that was hilarious. Mine would have to be we did this match at a skate park against actually we did two of them, but mine would have to be the second one with Country Air. Man, that was so damn fun.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, that's another one you can look up on YouTube under All Heel Wrestling AHW. The second coming of that match, man, it was just the first one was good, but the second one was even better. Like we just got to they was like, hey, just do whatever y'all do, and then it was like say less, and we just worked all around the skate park. That was one of my favorites.
When it comes to a street fight, that's right up our alley.
Yeah, that one was.
We can do anything in the ring, but anybody want to call us to a street fight? All right, okay.
He's speaking my language, man.
When I watched y'all wrestle, you reminded me of a tag team I remember watching as a kid back in the 80s. They were called the Zambui Express. It was actually Ray Candy and another guy that I can't remember, but they went by at the time they went by the ring names Elijah Akeem and Kareem Muhammad. Okay. And they had this whole kind of I guess sort of a black nationalism gimmick going on. But the way they tagged together, when I saw you guys wrestle, it brought me back to watching them as a kid, and I was like, a very old school Smash Mouth wrestling, and that's refreshing to see.
Going on YouTube now to see let's see what they're doing. Okay,
might have to check them out one of these days, man. Yeah, that's before my time, man. So
I'm sure there's videos on YouTube. Everything else is.
Yeah, so. Thanks for the reference, because
it's on Google. You can find it there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have been some of the most unusual experiences that you've had in wrestling?
Shit, wrestling on the rain. Man, that's just so sloppy. Man, I've been in some rainy shows, man. It's like one of those things, man. Like a lot of promoters, like they should really do a better job with that. Some promoters do, some don't. Just make sure you know your weather if you're playing in outdoor shows. You know what I'm saying? Because people spent their money, and either way, and it's like the show must go on type of situation. So we got to go out there and wrestle in the rain and all that shit, and man, it's not pretty, bro. But that'd be my unorthodox experience over there. Over yours.
I mean, I really can't call a Halloween Battle Royal unusual, is it? I mean, it was different for me, but it was an experience. Other than that, I really can't call too much unusual things that happen to me in wrestling. So
yeah, I ain't had nothing too unusual. What's up, bro? What's up?
Gotcha. So, what has been the strangest or most unusual encounter you've had with a fan?
Oh man, I gotta think. You can go ahead and go first with something.
Well, I haven't had anything serious with a fan, but when I was in OVW, and it was a guy named wrestler named Pat Buck. He did something, turned heel, did something crazy that night in the ring, and you know how you just leave and just go home and all that stuff, get your car, pack your stuff up. Fans literally will wait until you get out. And I've seen this. I heard about it growing up and all this stuff. And then my first time seeing it firsthand. I mean, as soon as Pat Buck came out to his car and all that, they were just heckling him, calling him all kind of stuff. I mean, just yelling all the way until he went to his car. Like, it was wild. Like, man, really? Like, I got to get out of here. I mean, you had at least 15 plus people at least waiting for this dude to come out. I mean, they of course, yeah, they was quiet and all this stuff when I came out. And as soon as he came out the door, he showed his face. I'm like, oh, dude, like, wow. I just wish I recorded just that. Like,
No doubt.
It was a good experience, though. I mean, for fans in the South, man, I definitely respect them. Definitely respect the fans in the South because they get live with you. So that's that's what I noticed.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't call it exactly strange, but I did. Well, actually, we worked a match against an amputee. And it was just one of those situations where you just gotta adjust to what you're working with. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to, make some comedy out of it. It was already funny enough that he had this like theme song that he had, this interest music that he had. It's a song from I was hearing on Grand Theft Auto 5. So the song kind of like in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this song or whatever, and it was just catchy. So what I did, I had the DJ just hey yo, run that song back, and all of a sudden I just bust out a boogie, whatever it is. I just bust out the shuffle, like
I started shuffling wood on my side of the ring. I'm like, man, I gotta get in this, man. Like,
no, but it was cool, man. Like, it really showed that like I can kind of, for me, it was like I can, show me that, hey yo, I can adjust the situations. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I was able to make some entertaining shit out of it. So it was cool, man.
So, in your in-ring style and your promos, who would you say are some of your influences?
My in-ring, I have to say, I get it from comedy, I get it from hip hop, and I get it from wrestling within itself. From wrestling, I'd say Stone Cold is kind of a person I take stuff off of a little bit, with the whole just jumping a mud hole in somebody, as he would say.
And walking it dry.
Walking it dry. So a little bit of him. Like as far as like the hip hop community goes, I try to get aggressive like Ice Cube. And as far as like comedic stuff go, I just come off with sometimes it comes off corny, some stuff is funny. It's just whatever's on the top of my dome, I just come off with on my own. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's yeah.
Well, when it comes to in-ring and promos, even though this tag team wasn't like big on promo stuff, but they just say what they need to say and get it done, is the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they let it be known in their in-ring. They, talk the talk, the walk type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I liked about them.
Oh yeah, promos. I'd say I was a fan of how the Briscoes used to cut their promos. Not just I'm talking about Jay and Mark, the ROH Briscoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I like their promo style, man. The way they cut stuff together. It's like always dug the promos where it's like the other person feeds off the other person. And another team that was like that with promos was Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Oh
when
yeah.
they got their promos, like the person would feed off the other one. You know what I'm saying? And feed off each other's energy and could just make, you know what I'm saying, make a comment off and just went in together. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how tag team battle rapping goes in a sense.
Yeah. Well, you know, even as a kid, I have always been a big fan and a big supporter of tag team wrestling. I mean, you know, the tag team environment just brings a totally different dimension to the match. You know, because you know you'll have the partner in peril, you know, trying to get the tag, and then you know the tag finally happens and the place comes unglued. You know, I mean, it's a different energy.
Yeah, especially when
So,
that hot tag come around, man.
yeah, and
Especially if that person comes in on fire and just gets the light and shit up, man.
oh yeah, and I really feel like we're seeing a resurgence of tag team wrestling right now, and I'm happy to see it. You know, because there are a lot of really good teams right now. You know, FTR, Motor City Machine Guns. You know, all different styles, but I mean, they're all compelling storytellers, and they can all go in the ring. You know, so
Yeah.
but so. Do you guys have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Like a match that you can go back and watch time and time again, and it really doesn't get old, and you always learn something from it?
Listen, I got too many of those, man. I'll just name about 3 of my favorites.
Okay.
One would be was from Invasion, Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. I don't do nothing from that, but I don't do nothing from that match, but just sitting back and watching it is cool. So that's one of my favorites. That's going to be another one. Any Diamond Dallas Page and Macho Man match.
Oh yeah.
Because their rivalry was just off the hook in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one, I'd say the Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Definitely Bret Hart and Stone Cold in Chicago. Who was that? Survivor Series?
I was Mania.
Who was that? Mania.
It was Mania.
Yeah,
I remember that one. That was
dude,
that match was cold.
That was when Bret Hart had that. When Bret Hart had that hiatus, that he came back, and then his first feud was with Stone Cold, and then it led to that. That there was good, man. When I look toward or gravitate more feuding, and then it will help to build up the match. Then my next one is Undertaker and Mankind. That I thought that was Undertaker's arch nemesis. Like when it came to anybody else, you know, like Mankind gave him a run for his money. I mean, it was ridiculous, man. So.
And watching Mick Foley get thrown off the top of that cage.
Legendary,
man.
That was crazy, man. How that just ended like that after that. So,
and hearing Jim Ross saying, "As God is my witness, he is broken in half."
Yeah, man. And then just they took the cage up there because they didn't have no room to get him back there. And then all of a sudden he hops off the damn
it came off the stretcher, and then climbed the cage.
Climbed right back up that one.
I was tripping when I'm like, I had no clue what he's gonna do next after he got off the stretcher. Yeah. Climbs the cage, it then get choke slammed. Then the cage breaks, goes through the cage and hits the mat.
Yeah,
wow, dude. Unbelievable.
I heard something about like that wasn't even supposed to happen. So
right, that's what I'm saying. It broke. It broke.
Yeah, I heard something about like that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right. So, other than that, go ahead.
Another hell of a sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
I just like this match because of the emotion in it. Was Triple H and Undertaker in the cage with Shawn Michaels as the referee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the emotion behind that match. That match was fire, man.
Yeah. That was good, and the match at WrestleMania 20, the three-way between Chris Benoit and Hunter and Sean,
Yeah.
that was that was another high emotion match, and it's I mean, obviously it's it's terrible, the way how Benoit ended up,
Right.
but I
Take
can
that away.
separate. I can separate the man and what he did from his body of work. I can still watch a Chris Benoit match and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just basically just try to remember the good times and not think
Right.
about how he ended his life.
Some of the matches he had was angle with classes.
Oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
flawless. So yeah, I mean, it's cool when people can separate, like you said, separate the man from the art. And Chris Benoit was a good dude in that ring, man. He can't take his skill away from him, bro.
No, but I mean, obviously he was a sick man. So
I like to add one more match is Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't believe it.
See, that's the thing, man. Like, it's so much.
There's so many.
There's so much history with wrestling. If you actually followed it that long, like, especially like you said, you've been following it since you were young and you in your 50s. So just imagine how many matches you've seen.
Oh yeah.
Time, you know what I'm saying? And even his time, my time, like just. And the thing about it is it's still going today, so it's still some more matches and some more classics that you're still going to see along the way.
Yep. So this can be both on, I guess, on a tag team level and also on a singles level.
Yeah.
Who would be a dream tag team that you'd like to work? And for each of you, who would be a dream opponent that you would like to work in the singles match?
You mean like indies or
Just
wherever? Okay.
Wherever. It can be present day, it can be past. Just who would be the dream team and the dream individuals?
All right. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
My dream individual would be Two Cold Scorpio. Tag team. Man, there's a lot out there. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say FTR because they're fundamental. I just love their fundamentals. Like,
Oh yeah.
I always state that fundamentals always wins over anything with me. Like, I don't care how much flying you do, but at the end of the match, you're gonna resort to that fundamental move for your win. So that 9 to 10 times they end up being the fundamental move to win. So that's just me with fundamentals. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't. There's so much in fundamentals that's involved. I was trained on fundamentals, so I can't help it.
Me, I'm gonna go as far as tag teams. I'm gonna go throwback with. I think we could mix it up with Harlem Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a fight. If you take mid to late 90s Harlem Heat against us, man, yeah, I think that would be a slobber knocker.
That'd be fun.
Oh man,
It will go from mild to wild the whole match. So.
Singles. I'm just gonna go with my favorite since I was younger. I'm gonna go with Stone Cold. I love to do a match with Stone Cold, even though I know more like this far fetched, but I'll do a match. I'll work a match with Stone Cold, man.
Got you. So, over the course of your careers in wrestling, have you had a chance to meet any of your heroes?
I met a few wrestlers, but as far as like my heroes, and not yet. But I have met a few guys that I do got respect for in the business.
Gotcha.
I mean, I did meet Conan. I just didn't get an opportunity to chop it up with him. It was more like a meet and greet, and a photo, and stuff like that. And he was like when it came on Nitro and got on that mic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was he gave me goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
'cause he felt like he connected more with like a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Not just anybody, but just I think he connected with many people on many levels. No matter who he was, but there's just something about his voice and how he delivered that Ali Balalasa,
Yeah.
Odole, it was like he made you sit down and come home or have a beer after you got on the mic. Like
Yep.
that's what it
Yep.
was for me. So
Yeah. I remember watching him in WCW, and lately I've been going down the rabbit hole and watching some Lucha Underground,
mm,
and that's some really good stuff. And
yes.
he plays a pretty big part in that.
Mm.
So,
We
but
did almost. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
oh,
Oh no, I was just
go ahead.
gonna say we did almost. Well, one of the heroes that I almost got a chance to meet, but rest in peace. I think he passed away maybe a week or two before the show, or whatever. And that was Scott Hall.
Mm.
Mm,
So almost had a chance to meet Scott Hall, man. So that would have
Yes.
been pretty dope to me. Like that would have touched me a little bit. But
oh yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So when you were in OVW, was Al Snow there yet,
He was making his appearances here and there. Um, this is when
so
WWE.
this was before he was running it?
Yeah, way before he was running. I was in OVW in 2008, 2009,
Gotcha,
and yeah, this was when Nightmare Danny Davis and Rick Rogers were doing
yeah,
stuff down there. So
gotcha. So and I always ask this because it's really just kind of an entertaining question, and you get all kinds of different answers. And that is, what hurts right now?
Man.
my big toe, my left knee, my right shoulder, my neck a little bit. Other than that, I mean, it's mainly just soreness and aches. I could just either dry needle therapy that and get a massage here and put some Tiger Balm on it. I'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always say, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I always say most of my injuries came outside of wrestling. Some of them came from when I was, when I was playing football at a young age and when I was playing semi-pro. Just I was always the person just like stay ahead and just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? But I do need. As I get older, I realize that, man. Like I do, I probably should take better care of my body and stuff. My lower back. I'm pretty sure that's from all the above. That's from wrestling, football, and the day job. So I get the whole little sciatica thing going on every once in a while with the lower back and everything. I had a torn meniscus, so in my right knee, so I got that taken care of. Trying to think what else. I got into a car wreck. Was it last year? I think it was last year. So I didn't walk away with anything severely injured, but I could tell like one of my titties is bigger than the other. So I say I got biggie small titties. So one I'm bigger than the little one. So that. But, I mean, it's nothing like that I can't handle. You know what I'm saying? So as long as that's nothing too severe, I think I'm okay. I'm all right.
gotcha.
Oh yeah, I did get dropped on my neck one time too, wrestling. So that one did come from wrestling.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this is a question for each of you. Knowing everything that you know now, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Honestly, mine would be probably just get in. I would have gotten the wrestling a lot earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like I got into it at I want to say 25, but if I could talk to my younger self, I would have got into it 10 years before. So that way, you know what I'm saying, I would have been more polished about time I got to my age that I'm at now.
I would tell my younger self, just stay humble and stay with it, because I had a few hiatuses throughout my wrestling, and I'm talking like maybe a year or maybe a little less than that. But still, I just wish never took those hiatuses. I mean, my last hiatus is due to business reasons and stuff like that, and a guy named Bruno hit me up for a booking, and that hiatus wasn't that long. It was probably more like a 6 or 7 month thing, and he brought me back in and did a show in a town called Goodman, and this was like in a small venue, packed like 200 plus people in there, and you could tell this place just don't get no entertainment at all unless there's either a graduation or a band that comes in town. But yeah, that's what kind of town this was, and this place was pretty electric that night. So that what got me back into wrestling like tenfold. Like it was like if you do well in the ring, of course you get your reactions and stuff like that, and everything just happened reaction wise, and it was good for me. Like it gave me a new riff on on wrestling, so I was stuck with it after that. So
Gotcha. So, do you guys have any advice for any young people that might be watching this that are looking to break into the business?
well, make sure if you're looking for training, look out for people that's been there at the top before that's offering training, because they're the ones that can give you more insight on what to do for TV and stuff like that, give you better direction, and all the above pretty much. Just got to be careful who you get trained by, because there's a lot of snakes out in this business, So
Mm-hmm.
you just once thing is you come across the right person, that person will motivate you to go further. You'll have longevity. You come across some snakes, you might not last long. Your motivation will drop drastically, and it's like what you don't want to do it anymore, because But the thing is let's say you build up motivation again, come across the right people, it'll keep you going. You just got to be around the right people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mine
So,
would be,
go ahead.
I was gonna say mine would be I heard it from the late great Bernie Mac. Is make sure you give something for them to remember you by. Like no matter, like you don't always have to do a backflip. You don't have to do 1,000 super kicks or dives or whatever. It could be just yourself, just your character, like what you do. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you give people something to remember you by when they leave. That be the thing. You know what I'm saying? It'll be that, and another one would be just because one door won't open for you, don't mean another one won't.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Don't be afraid to move out and go other places, and you know what I'm saying, because it could be that door just ain't open for you now, and the next thing you know, you go somewhere else and you get on and popping and go do your thing, and then you come back to that door. Next thing you know, that door is opened up for you, no problem.
Or they say, when a door closes, a window opens.
Yeah.
So,
that too, yeah. So yeah, just don't be afraid to bust a move, man.
Absolutely. So something else that I've done in all of these, just because it's kind of fun, is I let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. And so my previous guest was a guy named Tomer Shalom, who he's actually an Israeli-born wrestler, but he's based up in Toronto, Canada. And the question that he posed is, you have to subscribe to an OnlyFans. Whose would you subscribe to?
Oh, my God.
man. Woo!
It had to be OnlyFans. Woo! Unbelievable.
I got like that Chris Jericho list going on when he had the
The list of Jericho.
I got that going on to the that's what I subscribe to, man. But oh damn, fight tonight. One though. Damn. You want to go first? I'm still thinking.
I don't even know who's really on OnlyFans.
Right, that's the thing.
Unless somebody that's doing adult videos. Stuff like that. The only people I know that's probably that's on OnlyFans. And maybe some local strippers here and there. And
So I don't know if I should say that.
somebody's school teacher might be on there secretly under a different name. Who knows? Just the list can go on, man.
Man.
Yep.
Damn.
He knew that would get a good laugh.
Right.
He said he likes to rib the boys. So
That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Dang. I got some. I got a couple to think of, but shoot. 18 and over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
so
one that's coming off the top of my head right now, Jayla Page.
Oh,
okay.
never heard of this person.
Google it.
So since this is a series, do you guys have a question that you would like to pose to the next guest? And I can actually tell you who the next guest is going to be.
Okay.
He was actually at the PWE show.
All right.
Paul Lasher. He's going to be on with me on Monday at 7 p.m. I mean, it doesn't have to be a question specific to him, but do you have a question you would like to pose to the next person?
I gotta think of. Let's think of a phone, bro. Damn. Let me think. All right, favorite porn star coming up.
Growing up, huh?
Growing up, favorite porn star. There we go. There we go. That's the question right there.
Okay.
I got to keep it going with the whole OnlyFans thing. So there you go, right there.
Okay. So we're getting toward the end of things. Do you guys have any upcoming shows or anything that you would like to hype?
Yeah, definitely. We got one in Iron Mountain for UPW.
That's in Iron Mountain, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be taking on the Syndicate, which is a group of misfits that really don't care too much for the rules, and so it's kind of up our alley a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out.
I'm gonna have to bring some a bag of Legos and thumbtacks for this one.
One of those matches, huh?
It could be.
It might end up that way.
It's UPW, so I mean, this thing it can bound to be turned into something like that.
Staple guns, and light tubes, and all that.
Everything but the kitchen sink, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Watch me bring a kitchen sink too.
Here we got. Are we still doing Frozen Tournament?
What tournament?
Frozen Tournament. We're supposed to have them next week on Saturday or whatever. I don't know if it's
I know we're doing LPW in Cottage Grove.
yeah. Okay, we got LPW on Friday night next week. That's in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. No final say on it, but that following Saturday, Frozen Tundra Wrestling. That's somewhere close to the Cottage Grove area a little bit, maybe another hour or so. Not even, probably under an hour.
Baraboo. Is it
Is it
Baraboo?
Baraboo?
Yeah, I think it's Baraboo.
Okay. Well, yeah, in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Then later on this month, we have Hybrid Wrestling Entertainment. That's on Friday. It's the 20th. I thought it was the 23rd. I got it on the 23rd. Might be the 28th. And after a while, we get so many new saying that, man, I keep it on the calendar, but I think it's the 23rd. But yeah, we got that going on later on in the month, and then that's pretty much it as far as the month of August goes.
Gotcha. Well, thank you guys for this. This has been an absolute blast. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys and just hearing the stories and picking your brains a little bit. I mean, this is great stuff.
Anytime.
And consider yourself as having a standing invitation to come back on. You're part of the Throwdown family now. And, for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that will be watching this on replays, thank you for that. This thing is really starting to take on a life of its own, and I'm just excited to watch it grow,
That's cool.
I don't know where this is going exactly, but it's going somewhere good. And
you
I
having
know
fun with
that.
it?
Oh, I'm having a blast.
Hey, that's all that matters, bro. Sometimes,
Yep.
hey, as long as you're having fun, man, and hey, ain't no telling where it can go, man.
Exactly. So anyway, thank you guys, and everybody have a great night, and I will be back on Monday at 7 p.m.